A racehorse is not a machine, and the fastest trotter or pacer doesn't always win the race. There are many variables: track condition, driver changes, and plain old lady luck. Tonight, racing luck and post position could play a major role in determining the winner of our big race. In just a few minutes, 11 trotting mares will start their mile journey right there, and in less than 6 seconds be around this clubhouse turn. But only one will come home with the Breeders' Crown.
Speed is head on the outside. Sandy Ball looking to shake loose, followed by Garland Lobel and Giorgio D. They're in the stretch. Baltic Speed takes the lead. Holy Arnie the rail, the outside. Here comes Giorgio D, followed by Sandy Ball. Baltic Speed is going to win it all. And here comes Armbro Flori, 3 wide. She's got full of Trot. And here comes Bill O'Donnell with it now. It is Armbro Flori drawing clear at the rail. Narva, Hanover, Crane singing Batavia Hanover. But the Breeders' Crown, Julie Trot, belongs to Armbro Flori. Lobel all out for the world record. Go get Roscoe's toe on the outside. Mac Lobel on the rail has the lead. That's Mac Lobel. Tells the mile, 156 flat.
Tonight, live from Batavia Downs in Batavia, New York, 11 of the best trotting mares in the country go postward in search of a winner's share of a purse of over $268,000. Breeders' Crown 88 is being brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By Armstrong Brothers, a world leader in standard bred breeding. And by U.S. Air, serving over 130 cities across the United States and Canada. The Breeders' Crown is a unique series of races. This year, we're making 10 stops for 12 championship events. Delighted tonight to be in Western New York. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Johnson. My partner on the broadcast, Stan Bergstein. Stan, I understand that several mares are in this race tonight, and they've been kept in competition a whole year just to be here for this race.
With good cause. As 2- and 3-year-olds, they race against each other as fillies, and there's a lot of money to be won. When they become 4 and in harness racing turn to mares, as the nomenclature goes, despite what the feminists think, they are at a disadvantage racing against males. And to illustrate that fact, last year, 7 of the 11 mares in this race won $100,000 or more, ranging up to the $820,000 won by Armbro Flori last year. This year, racing against males, only one of the mares, Ship's Dream, has won over $100,000.
And there's quite a paycheck on the line this evening as we take a look at the purse money to be distributed. Stan, we have mares from 4 through age 7. Now, are any of them at a disadvantage because of that?
Not really because of age. Once they reach maturity at 4, they sustain and maintain that maturity right through 8 or 9. In fact, in Europe, many of the top trotters are 7, 8, 9, even 10 years old.
So a full field of 11 promising a lot of action. The favorites actually a pair starting as 1 and 1A, coupled in the wagering, both owned by the Armstrong brothers. With more on that, Kenny Rice.
Thanks, Dave. The Armstrong brothers are number 3 among breeders in the Breeders' Crown competition. Their horses have won $1.6 million in this competition. 2 of their stars are here tonight, Armbro Flori and Armbro Flori. And last year in the Breeders' Crown competition, they certainly were the standouts in their division.
And as they trot around the final turn, in command, that's Armbro Flori. And now Keystone Harem coming on 3 wide. Armbro Flori the rail, Victory Lamont. They are in the lane. Armbro Flori, the one to catch. Here comes stablemate Armbro Flori on the outside. It's now Armbro Flori, Armbro Flori. They drive to the wire. Armbro Flori in front.
With me now, Dr. Glen Brown, the president of Armstrong Brothers. And Dr. Brown, it's been an exciting year again for Armstrong Brothers, particularly the fact that Armbro Flori, who is getting some of the spotlight this year, she has won more money than her much-heralded stablemate.
She's been very consistent, Kenny. She's been winning at Greenwood in Toronto. She's got 5 wins, I believe 5 seconds this year in 15 or 16 starts, and racing an invitation company every week.
How do you see the race tonight for Fling and Flori competing against the rest of this impressive field?
I don't believe Fling is right at her peak right now, but I believe Flori will be very tough. She raced last week in Greenwood and came within 1/5 of a second of the track record and did it in a commanding fashion. She's pretty sharp right now.
Dr. Brown, good luck tonight. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dave.
Now let's check the morning line. We'll see driver assignments. And here we start with Armbro Fling, George Schulte, and Armbro Flori with Larry Walker, 2-1, and you get 2 for the price of 1. Sarah Gal with Tom Strauss starts at 8-1. Free Token with Joe Pavia Jr. at 12, one of the long shots. At 15 is Frock with Carmen High. Cindy's Action with Donald Dancer at 12. Luscious Almahurst with Benny Webster at 4-1. Scenic Regal, Harold Story Drives, and 3-1, second choice in the morning line. Ship's Dream, 6-1 with Doug Brown. Erica's Impulse with Joe Adamski at 20, and 20 the price on Hap's Crown with Bill O'Donnell. Well, we'll be back to take a look at the horses in the post-parade, and you can pick out your favorite for tonight's Breeders' Crown event. But first, these messages. We're getting set for the post-parade here at Batavia. A half-mile track, so they'll go twice around the oval. Track is fast. It's gotten a bit chilly here as the evening wore on. The wind is calm and the track is fast, and they're coming onto the track for the Breeders' Crown. And the first horse we'll take a look at is part of the entry. Coming on the track now, Armbro Fling and number 1.
She is already a millionairess, has won $1,334,936 in her career. She won 25 of 35 races, a 2- and 3-year-old, and won the Breeders' Crown at 3. She has post 2, and even though she may not be at her best, she's obviously a class act.
And member of Harness Racing's Hall of Fame, George Schulte, who as a driver has over 2,800 wins, is in the bike. Number 1A is Armbro Flori.
This is Armbro Fling's blood sister. They're both by the great stallion Speedy Crown, and their mothers are full sisters. She comes to the race off of an impressive fast victory on the 5/8 mile track at Greenwood in Toronto.
And the driver, Larry Walker, has quite a reputation with Trotters, a winner of over 1,500 races and $10 million in purse money. Number 2 is Sarah Gal.
She was second to Armbro Flori in her last start, draws the rail tonight. Her co-owner and trainer, Walter Ackland, retired from the advertising business to train full-time.
And Tom Strauss, 38 years old, a former assistant to trainer Keith Waples, one of the catch drivers on demand, especially with Trotters. He competes on the Ohio, Ontario, and Michigan circuit. And here's number 3, Free Token.
She's been in the money, first, second, and third, 14 times in 16 starts this year. Consistency is a jewel anywhere in horse racing, but particularly it's a jewel in the Breeders' Crown.
And Joe Pavia, who has only been driving for 7 years, and last year his best year to date with $800,000 in purse earnings and 164 wins. Now let's move on to number 4, Frock.
Good mare on a half-mile track. She won $106,000 last year, only $9,800 this year. She only cost $8,200 as a yearling, and she's won $163,000 on a good return.
And here's a family story. Carmen High, both of his brothers, Doug and Roger, race, as well as his father, Cliff, and they're active in all facets of the standardbred business. And Carmen High was honored as the leading Ontario Sire Stakes driver last year. Here's number 5, Cindy's Action.
Equaled the world record for older mares on a half-mile track earlier this year at Freehold in New Jersey. And the mare is Ancient, pregnant, in foal, 4 months in foal to the great Speedy Somali.
A working mother, Cindy's Action. And Donald Dancer, who's been driving horses since he was 14 years of age. He's become one of the leading drivers on the tough metropolitan New York circuit, and his mounts have earned over $1 million in each of the last 5 years. Here's Luscious Almahurst, the 6 horse.
Spelled Lucius, pronounced Luscious, and she has been luscious. She's campaigned heavily against the boys as a 3-year-old, which is unusual, and she won $211,000 last year, which gives an idea of her quality, racing against males.
And Ben Webster drives. His son Mark is the trainer. Ben Webster won the Hambletonian at 84 with Historic Freight. Last year, his horses earned over $3.9 million. Coming onto the track now, here's number 7, Scenic Regal.
And here's a toughie. Second to grade singing in this race last year, a stretch driving star, winner of 4 $426,000. And second, beaten only a neck by the world record holder Mac Lobel last week.
And George Story for the Harold Story stable. George does the training for his three-time Saratoga Horseman of the Year father, Harold Story, and together they dominate the trainer-driver standings at Saratoga Raceway. And here is number 8, Ship's Dream.
Ship's Dream is maintaining a pace ahead of last year. She is the only mare in this race to have won over $100,000 this year. She'll be in the second tier behind Sarah's Gal, but that one leads pretty good, so it shouldn't be too much of a handicap.
And for driver Doug Brown, this is his third appearance in the Breeders' Crown Series. The 33-year-old catch driver has notched over 210 victories in each of his last 7 seasons. Number 9 is next on the track, and that's Erica's Impulse.
This mare only cost $1,000 as a yearling, and $1,000 yearlings don't usually win races worth $269,000. She doesn't figure to win this one either, but she has won $129,000 in the Ohio Stakes Championship last year.
And Joe Adamski, star of the Ohio circuit for many years, also one of the leaders at Pompano Park, is in the bike. And rounding out the field, here's Hap's Crown, the 10-horse.
Owned by a BMW Alfa Romeo dealer, coming back off a 2-month layoff. And even with the BMW horsepower, that's a tough assignment.
And Bill O'Donnell, who became the first driver in the history of the sport to win $10 million in purses, he did that back in '85, is in the bike tonight. Well, you know, it really helps to have a race over the track. Free Token is one of 4 of the 11 in here who had it, and maybe Kenny Rice can find a long shot in that bunch.
Several of these mares met here last week at Batavia Downs in a prep for tonight's Breeders' Crown. And as they turn for home, wide outside is Free Token, who was putting a 3-race winning streak on the line. And in turning for home, it is Luscious Almahurst with the lead. Luscious Almahurst driven by Ben Webster in his return to Batavia Downs. And it is a battle for the finish between Luscious Almahurst and Cindy's Action, closing quickly. And that's the way they will finish. Luscious Almahurst by a nose in her first win of the season over Cindy's Action. And with me, the trainer of Free Token right now is Jody Poxza. Jody, congratulations on a good season so far. And we were talking earlier, maybe it was a good thing because Free Token certainly was impressive in being parked outside most of the way, getting really a mad post position, but closing strong, and you don't have to worry about trying to win 5 in a row tonight.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be a little harder shooting for 5. At least she gets to start over again.
Now, Free Token, you purchased her as an unraced 2-year-old. What impressed you about Free Token?
She's got a flawless gait. She's small, but she can trot. I just liked her looks.
With 11 going into the turn tonight, how do you see Free Token, and how do you see the rest of the field?
It's scary. You just got to hope for the best. Luck.
Luck never hurts.
Luck doesn't hurt.
Good luck, Jody Poxza, tonight. The trainer of Free Token, who is picked as the upset special by the handicapper here. Dave?
Let's take a quick look at the odds, and we see that Armbro Fling is at 5-2 second choice. Free Token at 3, getting a lot of support, and Scenic Regal is the 3-2 favorite. More after this brief timeout. Welcome back to Batavia Racetrack in western New York, about a mile off the New York State Thruway, exit 48. And here's Stan Bergstein with a personal tour.
This is Batavia's family team. Barbara and Jim Samberg, Barbara's sister Donna Warner and her husband David, and Barbara and Donna's mother Barbara Provenzano. Mrs. Provenzano's late husband Pat, Barbara and Donna's father, is still their inspiration. This is when it all began, September 20th, 1940, the start of parimutuel harness racing in New York. Batavia and Roosevelt Raceway on Long Island got the sport underway together in those pre-war years. Today, Barbara Samberg runs the track, one of the few women presidents in the sport. And feminine touches can be seen throughout Batavia's immaculate western New York plant. The Sambergs and Warners have kept crowds coming from Buffalo to the west and Rochester to the east by modernizing and updating their pleasant track. It is now, at 48, the oldest parimutuel harness track in New York State, but it clearly does not show its age. The sisters and their husbands kick step with the times. Barbara and Jim take constant pride in Batavia, not only the plant, but the action on the racetrack as well. Barbara is not a passive track executive. She involves herself in every aspect of racetrack management. We get the impression, Barbara Samberg, that you enjoy this job tremendously.
Oh, there's just no way to describe it, Stan. I love it.
Is it an easy job?
Well, not all
the times, but much of it is. There's a few hard ones, but we don't go into that.
Well, we see you mixing with the crowd, and it seems to be a family environment here at Batavia.
It is. We all know one another, and that's probably the most favorite thing I do is mixing with my people here.
Your dining room, one of the finest of any racetrack anywhere in the country, and I understand that it wasn't the only photo finish on the track where with the horses. It was a photo finish with the dining room.
It certainly was. Opening day, I was sweeping floors and carrying drywall and just keeping my fingers crossed, but we made it, and it is beautiful.
It's a family operation. How do you split the duties among the family?
Well, we all share. You know, my husband Jim is operations, and he's great. My brother-in-law Dave Warner is the treasurer, and of course Donna's right there to step in anytime I need her. It's great.
Family operation, a very successful one. Dave?
Well, the number 1 horse, that's the entry, Armbro Fling and Armbro Flori, getting some support at 2-1. But Free Token has been bet from 12-1 morning line down to 3.5. The 7 horse, and that is Scenic Regal, is 8-5. And Stan, a question about Scenic Regal. This horse seems to be the now horse.
Well, she is a now horse, and coming into this race off of a tremendous effort at Yonkers last week, gaining on Mac Lobel down to the stretch. There's how they're going to start, Dave.
And as you see, we have 8 across the front barrier, and then 3 horses. Ship's Dream, Erica's Impulse, and Hap's Crown will be starting in the 2nd tier, so they'll be starting behind the first row of horses. At what disadvantage do you find them?
It depends how the ones in front of you leave, and Ship's Dream should get out all right because Sarah Gal can leave pretty well. You can see that Scenic Regal is on the extreme outside. That's a tough assignment here with speed inside.
Stan, what's the pattern to these names, Armbro Fling and Armbro Flori?
Well, they are from the Armstrong Brothers stable in Ontario, one of the great breeding farms in the country. They name their horses and put all of them are Armbros, and the last ones are given letters by year. The 1984 crop was F. The 1985 crop, 3-year-olds this year, was G, included Armbro Gold, Hamiltonian World Trotting Derby winner, and they'll be selling their 1987 crop, which is I, Illusion, Invasion, and so forth, at the Kentucky Standardbred sale at the end of this month in Lexington.
And Stan, a lot of folks think that Armbro Flori is also a now horse.
Well, it appears that she is. Dr. Glen Brown says she is, and he's a pretty good observer of the scene, and we'll find out very shortly, Dave.
What about streaks? We have a horse, Free Token, who had 3 wins in a row, then finished 3rd last out, getting a lot of attention. What benefit would a streak be?
Well, she did it at 3 different tracks. The Meadows in Pennsylvania, Free State in Maryland, Freehold in New Jersey. Only one of them a half-mile track, and we'll see how she does here over this half-mile.
Okay, 8-5 is the favorite. That's Scenic Regal with Harold's Story. It's number 7, but starting from post 8, that's on the far outside of the first tier. And then again, we've said that Ship's Dream, Erica's Impulse, and Hap's Crown starting from the 2nd tier. It's time now for us to go to the top of the stands, and track announcer Jim Boyd with the call of the Breeders' Crown.
Trotting mares, and they're off and trotting. Sarah Gal at the rail. Armbro Flori moves up in the center. Trot on the outside. Armbro Fling at the rail. As Cindy's Action goes off stride. Ship's Dream racing along the rail is 5th. As they head up the backstretch the first time. Free Token between horses 6th. Moving up the backstretch, that's Armbro Fling now getting the lead. Sarah Gal at the rail is 2nd. The other half of the Armstrong Brothers entry moves up 3rd. That's Armbro Flori 2nd, and now taking the lead. They reach the first quarter in 30 seconds. Trotting around the far turn, Armbro Flori your leader. Armbro Fling is 2nd as they move around the turn. Frock moves up on the outside as they trot past the stands the first time. That's Armbro Flori at the rail. Frock alongside as they come to the half. Armbro Fling at the rail 3rd. Free Token on the outside is 4th. Sarah Gal at the rail 5th. The first half in a swift 59-4. Luscious Elmerhurst on the outside is 6th. With Ship's Dream at the rail 7th. Here comes Scenic Regal going 3 wide 8th. Hap's Crown is 9th. Erica's Impulse is 10th. The trailer is Cindy's Action as they trot up the backstretch the second time. Armbro Flori holds that lead. Here comes Free Token coming up now to challenge. Armbro Fling up the rail is 3rd. With Scenic Regal 3 wide 4th. They're at the 3/4 in 1:29-3. As they trot around the far turn. Armbro Flori won't give up that lead. Free Token try to collar him around that turn. Here comes Scenic Regal on 3rd. As they trot for the wire. Armbro Flori in front. Free Token and Scenic Regal. 3 of them coming at him as they come to the wire. tight for the win between Armbro Flori and Scenic Regal.
Armbro Flori and Scenic Regal, two of the horses who we said were the main contenders, right there in a photo finish. Armbro Flori with Larry Walker, Scenic Regal with Harold Story.
And it appears that Scenic Regal just had a little bit too far to go and ran out of racetrack at the wire. Armbro Flori showing the way down to the stretch valiantly on the outside. Scenic Regal, who was closing on Mac Lobel last week, is closing on Armbro Flori here, but it appears runs out of racetrack as they get to the wire.
Coupled in the wagering with Armbro Fling, so we'll see what the photo finish says. Back with more, the excitement and the winner's circle action after this. Stay with us. And the photo finish did show that Armbro Flori held on the inside with Larry Walker driving to win it, and Scenic Regal was second under the wire, and Sarah Gall finished third. Let's go down to Kenny Rice in the winner's circle.
And with me as the winning driver, congratulations, Larry Walker, an impressive performance tonight, but Armbro Flori's been doing that lately.
Yeah, she's raced really well. I'm really thrilled.
Let's take a look at it now as they get ready to come in the far turn home. You got some cover early. Fling went out on top, but then Armbro Flori, did you have her in the position you wanted to about the half and as you're getting ready to come for home?
Yeah, she has been racing in front of her last start, and she felt pretty good at the half and up the backstretch, so I just was hoping I could hold on.
Did you have any idea that Scenic Regal is closing impressively, out 3 wide most of the way and coming on strong in the stretch? Could you see her?
No, I couldn't see her till about halfway down the lane, but I seen her program, and I knew she'd be coming someplace.
Congratulations. Very impressive drive tonight, Larry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Larry Walker, the winning driver tonight. Armbro Flori, the champion here in tonight's Breeders' Crown. Dave?
It's official. Let's take a look at the prices now from the Breeders' Crown. The aged mare Trot, Armbro Flori, $560, $360, and $260, and coupled in the wagering with Armbro Fling. Scenic Regal was second at $4 and $260. Sarah Gall paid $420 and stand the time 1:59 and 3. That was pretty good, only 2/5 of a second off the track record, considering the chill in the air.
A little chilly tonight for them. Otherwise, if they had a little bit faster half, they would have also made it. 1:59 and 1 is the track record set by Moshan and Finesse 3 years ago here, so they came very close. It's the first of the 4 Breeders' Crowns where we didn't either get a world record or equaling the track record, but they came close.
But with a field of 11, you have to always worry about the racing luck element.
Well, the racing luck element was there, and the luck element was that Scenic Regal just had too far to go and too much traffic. When she went by us here in the clubhouse turn, she was 8th. And that's a long way to make up, and on a half-mile track, when you're outside in post position, it's tough.
And the folks here in Western New York put the money down on Free Token. They love this hometown horse.
Oh, the mare won a pretty good race, and the surprising one was Sarah Gall, who got third in the race.
And our working mother, the one filly out there, the one mare who is pregnant, she finished up the track, though. Brooks Drive.
Not necessarily because of that fact, but she has something to look forward to coming up in the spring.
Now, do you think that these horses they'll be in action the rest of the year?
They will be in action the rest of the year. They got their main money tonight, and they'll have to go back now and fight it the hard way, the same way it happens to be true as it is in human endeavor. They don't get as much money as the males do.
Scenic Regal was very impressive, though, finishing second to the males in her last encounter before tonight.
She is always tough, and she can handle any kind of a racehorse, any kind of a racetrack, and is always coming at the end. Those are the kind of horse you like, with heart, motor, spirit.
There's a lot of heart up here in Western New York. Hope that when you're in the neighborhood for either their spring meet or their summer-fall meet, that you'll stop by and watch the action in person. It was a delight to be here, and our thanks to the entire staff for all their help. Thanks very much for joining us on this sort of chill fall evening as the Breeders' Crown came to Batavia. Breeders' Crown 88 being brought to you by Castleton Farms. Castleton, a tradition of excellence. And by Pompano Harness, the winter capital of harness racing. Be sure to be with us when we return in 5 weeks, October 14th, in Detroit at Hazel Park. Don't miss it. Travel arranged through and a promotional fee paid by U.S. Air, the official airline of the Breeders' Crown.